House Watchers, how are y'all doing? This is your November 2020 tarot reading. If you're new here, I'm Sarah. This is Cancer Capricorn guidance, and I'm here to bring you love, light, and guidance through tarot, astrology, and spirituality. In my description box, you can find my email. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to schedule a personal reading. You can also find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can also find a few different links to a few different Spotify playlists I've made. I love making playlists and sharing them with people, so if you're curious about what's on those, feel free to check those out. You can also find my PayPal if you'd like to donate to me to support this channel. It would mean the world to me. Your support means everything, so thank you so much if you choose to do that. So Aquarius, how have y'all been doing? How was your October? How was all of those retrogrades and then all those planets coming out of retrograde? I feel like there was a lot of heavy energy going on the last few months, but now with all those outer planets that went direct in Capricorn, and then Pisces is going to be going direct, Neptune is going to be going direct in Pisces this month, along with Mercury is coming out of retrograde and Mars is coming out of retrograde, going direct in Aries. So I think we're going to feel a lot of lifted energy, like collectively, like all these planets that were in retrograde, they're finally coming out. So I think we're going to start to actually see some movement forward again in terms of a lot of energy that was cleared out, a lot of purging we had to do, a lot of releasing we had to do, a lot of just slowing down and reanalyzing things, looking at things for what they are, making some changes maybe. Aquarius, I feel like you might have been affected by that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Some old stuff from the past may have come up for you, things that needed to be resolved or cleared out. Let me think of anything else. Oh yeah, so I think the end of this year or really early into 2021, all those outer planets that have been in Capricorn are going to be moving into Aquarius. So that's going to be a lot of really great energy for you, where you'll start to see some big changes maybe, or big movements, like a lot of actual progression forward. You might start to really see some change happening. You might start to see the gears actually starting to turn when some of those planets move into the innovator sign of Aquarius. So that'll be really good for you, Aquarius. And I think with the sun going into Sagittarius, I think you're going to sit well in that Sagittarius energy. I think you're in need of just some fun, free-spirited energy that Sagittarius provides. I think this year's been heavy for all of us, but I think you might find some fun and some lightheartedness this Sagittarius season. I also hope that you did all right through that full moon that was on Halloween. It was a blue moon, the second full moon of October, and it probably brought out some intense energies, but I think it was a really good time to clear out anything that wasn't really serving you in terms of security and stability in your life. That Taurus energy is really about finding some solitude and like some nice security in ourselves and what we feel comfortable and good in. So I hope that brought some of that energy in for you, or maybe made you look at what needs to be let go of that isn't providing that for you. But this month I decided not to do a whole big astrology breakdown because one, it was a lot of work to do it last month. It made the readings really long, which I want to keep the readings a little bit shorter and sweeter. And there was just a lot going on in October, and there isn't so much going on planetarily in November, so I didn't feel the need to do the whole astrology breakdown, but there is a couple things happening in November that I've already mentioned, so I thought I would just keep it shorter and sweeter and simpler this month for November. So Aquarius. Aquarius. I'm not picking up on anything. I feel like you guys have reached a milestone recently, but it doesn't feel big or exciting, or like it doesn't feel like you wanted it to. It doesn't feel like that feeling of accomplishment like you wanted it to, like you were expecting it to. I feel like you completed something or reached some kind of goal or reached some kind of milestone recently, but it's just like, yeah, it's cool, it feels good, but not great. It doesn't feel like amazing like I kind of hoped it would. That's a little disappointing, Aquarius. Let's get into your reading, see what's up for you. right, any messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever placements you may have in your chart, whatever energies you've been vibing with. The Death card came right out. Something ended, Aquarius. Something has ended for you. Any messages for Aquarius for the month of November 2020? Messages for Aquarius. Messages of love, truth, healing, light, forgiveness. Whoa. Any other messages for Aquarius? I'm so clumsy. For every reading so far, cards have been falling out in big chunks, like 3 and 4, and for every reading so far, there's been 7 or 8 cards that have fallen out instead of the usual 6 I do. That's really interesting. I'm gonna go with this. Aquarius. Wow, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so for the overall energy is the 8 of Swords. I feel like you're really stuck in something. You're stuck in your own mindset. You're stuck in your own patterns and ways. You feel really trapped by your own thoughts. You feel really restricted. You feel really held back or tied down in some way. You feel stuck. You feel like you can't get out of a cycle of some sort. You feel like you're repeating the same things over and over and you have no control over it. You're stuck in a cycle. You feel like your hands are tied, you're backed into a corner, you don't really have any options here. You feel stuck. Maybe it's your own thoughts, your own emotions, where you're trapped in your own cycles of negative thought patterns that keep you held down or held back from doing what you really want to do because you're telling yourself, I can't do this, I'm not allowed to do that, I don't have the power to do that, I don't have the tools to do this, I don't have the resources or opportunities to do this. This is interesting, Aquarius. And then we have the Death card and the 5 of Pentacles. Something came to an end here that made you feel really lonely or made you feel like you don't have anything. Like it left you out in the cold. It left you feeling really abandoned. So this could be that a relationship here came to a really sudden ending. It finally came to an ending. Maybe it was something that had been for a long time coming, needed to come to an ending of some sort. And now that it finally has, you're just feeling the effects of it. You're feeling really lonely. You're feeling really abandoned. You're feeling left out in the cold. This could be a physical loss. Maybe you've lost someone in your life physically. Someone has left this planet. Their body has left and you're feeling the loneliness of that. You're really not feeling great about it. You lost someone that you really care about and you feel very abandoned. You feel very lonely. I'm sorry to hear that, Aquarius, if that's happened recently. Or maybe someone you lost a long time ago, those feelings have been coming up again. I know that in Scorpio season and with Scorpio Mercury retrograde, a lot of stuff from the past has been coming up a lot of stuff from the past has been coming up for a lot of people. It could be like some old emotions that you haven't dealt with in a long time or some old memories that bring up a lot of heavy emotions. It could be something from the past that you're still kind of dealing with. It could also be that you suddenly lost a job. Something came to a really sudden ending and you're feeling the financial effects of that. You're feeling like you're taking a financial hit from this. It could be either of those things. Definitely it's just leaving you feeling really helpless. It's leaving you feeling unable to provide for yourself financially, unable to feel connected. You're feeling lonely, you're feeling isolated, you're feeling financially struggling with something. Definitely a lot of that because something came to an ending. Maybe you quit a job really suddenly out of nowhere, or you were let go of your job really suddenly, or a source of income was really suddenly cut off from you. Maybe there's a death of someone close to you and it rocked your world because they were some sort of source of income or security for you. Could be a lot of those things. With the Moon in reverse and the 10 of Wands, I feel like this Moon in reverse, it has something to do with an illusion being shattered, something you were telling yourself, a narrative you were telling yourself is being let go of. It's like you're coming to terms with something or coming to a realization of something about how you really feel. There could be something coming to the surface that maybe you were suppressing down for a long time. Maybe it's just that you lost someone a long time ago and like you've always felt that loneliness, that missing piece because they're not here with you, whether this was, a death or you lost somebody really close to you in some capacity, and now you're starting to actually, those feelings are coming to the surface again during these times. All this Scorpio energy, I feel like a lot of those emotions are really coming to the surface, and stuff that you've maybe been not real with yourself about, or stuff that you've been suppressing, whether you have been intentionally suppressing it or not. It's like there's a lot of realizations coming to the surface about how you feel about this. There's a lot of emotions, heavy emotions that leave you feeling really burnt out. This 10 of Wands is like, I can't carry this burden anymore. It's a huge burden and it's really heavy and it's really hard to carry. This definitely feels like someone you lost, whether it's physically or they're just not in your life anymore. And maybe for a long time you were telling yourself that you're fine or you felt a certain way about it, but all of a sudden these feelings are coming up that you didn't know you had. These feelings about how much this really hurts you, how much this really affected you, whether it's just emotionally or financially too. It could really have affected other parts of your life, not just emotionally. But I feel like it's a really big burden to you and you really want to let go of it, and it's really tough. It's really tough. Yeah, and I'm definitely getting a lot of, with the Hierophant reverse and the Ace of Pentacles reverse, I feel like there was some kind of commitment here that was broken. If this is a relationship, it's like there was a really sudden ending and one or both parties of you are feeling really lonely. And with the Moon reverse, there's a lot of heavy feelings coming to the surface and it's really burdensome for you or this other person. I feel like this has something to do with you where you're trapped in this cycle of feeling really stuck and out of control and restricted and held back because for a long time you were ignoring or denying certain feelings you had about this situation, but now they're coming up and it's really heavy and it's really overwhelming and it's a lot to deal with. And I think it has something to do with a commitment of some sort being broken, a commitment of some sort not following through, not going the way you wanted it to, not playing out the way you wanted to. The Hierophant can be about marriage or like, you know, commitments or traditional things. It could be something to do with your traditional idea of a family has shifted now because of whatever happened with this situation. And with the Ace of Pentacles reverse, this is like some kind of opportunity fell through for you because of this. If this isn't about a relationship, I think something in your life came to an end. It could have to do with materially or job-wise, and it really rocked you, left you feeling financially inept or lonely or hopeless, or like you can't handle your own situation right now, like you're really struggling and need financial help. And you have a lot of mixed feelings about it. You're very overwhelmed. You have a lot of feelings you didn't know you had about it. And it has something to do with like you made a commitment to something and now that commitment has been broken. Maybe you were really working in a certain environment, a certain business environment or at a certain workplace, and they really suddenly let you go, and it hurt more than just you financially. It hurt you emotionally because you're like, I thought these people cared about me. I thought this job cared about me. I thought I gave them all my loyalty and I thought that I was going to get that loyalty back. I did not think that I was going to be let go by this. And now I'm struggling financially and emotionally and it's all very overwhelming. And I made a commitment or signed a contract with these people and they let me go and broke that. And now I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I thought this was my career path. I thought this is where I was meant to go. I thought this was going to be a starting point for me to really grow from here. It's like there was some kind of missed opportunity. Something fell through. There was potential here for financial growth or potential here for a foundation to be built here, but that opportunity has since been lost because of this commitment that was broken. And with the Four of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups reversed, I feel like you're starting to let go. You're starting to let go. I think the Four of Pentacles reversed is you dropping the burden of how heavy this is and realizing that you can't do this alone, and that maybe for a long time you were feeling like in this place of financially struggling, but you weren't reaching out to anyone for help, and you were so protective of your own finances and like, I have to do this all on my own, I have to do this all on my own. And now you're finally letting go of that in a way that's like, I have to let go of this tough guy attitude. I have to let go of this, I have it all together, because I don't. I feel like you there's a sense here of like struggling but kind of hiding that from people. You're struggling here emotionally, financially, whatever. It could be both, but you're really hiding that from people and not showing that to people because you want to appear strong and tough and like you can handle it. Or maybe you don't want people to know at all that this happened. Maybe you haven't told people you lost your job. Maybe you haven't told people you and this partner broke up, whatever it is. But I think you're starting to let go of that need to like do it all on your own. With the Four of Pentacles reverse, it's like you're finally letting go of control a little bit. I think you tried to have a lot of control over the situation, but it looks like there was a lot of things that happened that were completely out of your control, and you feel really stuck here. You feel really stuck in this. And with the King of Cups reverse, I think it's also, this is the same thing but emotionally, where you like for a long time, you were just trying to appear like you had it all together, like you really had control over what was happening, really had control over your emotions, and, you know, like it wasn't really beating you up, but it's been really, really hard. And I think you're finally starting to like let your guard down a little bit and just at least break down to yourself. Have a good cry. Whatever this was, it looks like it was really, really tough. It looks like it was really, really burdening you. It looks like whatever you lost, whatever this loss you're feeling, this loneliness you're feeling, this struggle that you're going through, it's painful. And I think you're finally starting to let go of this need to like do it all by yourself, have control over it, figure it out on your own. It's like you're starting to let go of this, you know, I'm emotionally stable, I have it all together. I don't think you are right now. I think that this is really taking a hit on you. This is really taking a toll on you. And this King of Cups reverse is you starting to like let go and just let yourself feel the emotions that have been like bubbling up inside you, because it's been really heavy trying to hold this all in. It's been really heavy trying to hold it all together, whether it's like to keep up appearances for other people, or you just did not want to address these emotions because it was really tough. I think all this Scorpio energy happening, I think a lot of this brought all of these things up for you, and it finally just came at you really suddenly and it hit you all at once. And I think you finally might be coming to, if you haven't already, you might finally be coming to a place where you just drop everything and you just let yourself feel what you're feeling. I think you might have some kind of, if you haven't already, you might be having some kind of breakdown moment where you're just letting go, you're dropping the wands, you're dropping the facade, you're dropping the baggage, and you're just letting yourself break down. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is so healthy to do, because if you keep these emotions all bottled up inside you all the time, Aquarius, you are definitely want to do that. I know that you guys do that. If you keep these inside you all the time, it's eventually going to boil up and burst out in any way possible. So you might as well come to terms with it and let it out before it gets to that point where it's like a big, big explosion. I think it's coming to a point where you're about to, or you already have finally just like stop trying and just let go and just cry, punch something, not a person, scream, be angry, be upset, be hurt. Let all these emotions come up for you and really feel them and purge through them and work through them. Because I think this has something to do with you feeling so stuck because you haven't even been addressing and feeling these emotions you've been feeling. I feel like this has all been so hard and so heavy on you, and you haven't even admitted that to yourself. You haven't even been able to admit that to yourself and really say, yeah, I feel like shit. This sucks. This hurts. I'm in pain. I'm struggling. This is hard. I'm at a loss. I'm feeling this loss. I'm feeling lonely. I'm upset about these missed opportunities. I'm upset about this broken commitment. I'm overwhelmed by all these feelings. This is you feeling so stuck in all that. And I think you're finally starting to release. There's some kind of release coming here. If it hasn't happened yet, this release is coming for you. Because it's like there's no other opportunity here. There's no other, not opportunity, there's no other options here for you at this point. I think it's coming to a point where like, if you don't address these emotions, if you don't feel them, if you don't work through them and like start to feel them right now, it's gonna get even worse. Like you feel so stuck because there's a release that needs to happen. There is a release that needs to happen. Whether emotionally or just, yeah, I think you really need to just let yourself feel and like have this moment to break down and purge through these emotions and let them out of you. Whether that's talking to someone can be really important. Talking to someone you trust and care about, talking to a therapist, talking to the wall. Just talk it out, let it out, feel it out. There's a lot of pain here. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of missed chances. There's a lot of broken promises. This could be about a relationship or maybe a death of someone that was close to you, a loss of a job, a loss of an income. Could be a lot of things, but you're really feeling the heaviness of it. It's heavy, and you have to let yourself feel that. I think you're finally going to start to realize that you have to let yourself feel these things in order to get it out of you, and in order to not feel so stuck. You have to start releasing. Aquarius, I'm going to pull 3 cards of advice for you regarding this spread. 3 cards of advice for Aquarius regarding this spread. 3 cards of advice for Aquarius regarding this spread for November 2020. How should Aquarius move forward? What energy should they be using or stepping into? 3 cards of advice for Aquarius. That card's been coming out for a lot of people. The Chariot reversed. 3 cards of advice for Aquarius. I'll take all of them. Okay, so we have the Chariot reverse, the Knight of Cups reverse, the Strength reverse, and the King of Pentacles. Aquarius, a lot of cards fell out for you this reading. So with the Chariot reverse first, I think this is telling you to slow down. Slow down. I think you've been working so hard to cover up how you're feeling or avoid how you're feeling or use distractions to avoid how you're feeling. I think this is you. Maybe we're spending a lot of time putting energy into your work and just continuing to move forward and push forward and go and go and go and just keep pushing. But it's coming to a point where you're starting to really slow down and you are really starting to crash and burn because you're not addressing how you're feeling. I think this is really asking you to just slow down. Take a moment. Take a moment in all these retrogrades to slow down and reevaluate how you're doing things. Are you feeling okay? Do you really want to keep working when you feel this way, when you have these tough emotions to address? It's so hard to keep moving and keep going when you're feeling so emotionally unwell. Your body's going to give up on you. You're going to crash. So before you crash, why don't you slow down and take a look at where you're going and what you're doing and if you should really be working through some things right now. This is really asking you to just slow down and take a moment for yourself. Take a breather. Spend some time alone. Don't push forward in work or whatever distractions you're using right now to avoid these feelings. I don't think you can avoid them any longer. I think this is like you have to slow down or you're going to crash and burn. You're going to go off the rails. You're going to get off track too far. With the Knight of Cups reversed, I think this is saying to take a break from... If there's, if this is like, you gotta slow down with the work, using work as a distraction, I think this is, you gotta slow down with using people as distractions. I think Aquarius, sometimes you can jump into connections or be looking for people to kind of avoid your own emotions, be looking to connect with people. I think this is asking you to take a step back from like dating or meeting new people or talking to people because you might be using that as something to avoid your feelings. I think you really need to work through a lot of these feelings before you can really be truly, genuinely connecting with people. Because if you're connecting with people when you're not even like being real with yourself about how you feel, those connections obviously aren't going to go anywhere. They're not going to be real or genuine. I think this is asking you to kind of, and if anyone comes at you, to turn them down. I don't think this is a right time for you right now to be exploring those kinds of connections. I think whatever it is that you're going through right here is really heavy and really overwhelming, and I think it's time for you to like really work through it and look at it and not be focused on other people or your work. This is really just asking you to slow down, maybe take some time alone, close yourself off for a little bit. Obviously talk to the people that you care about, talk to the people and talk through your emotions and how you're feeling, because that's really important. I don't want you to feel alone, but it might be time to take a step back and be single for a while if you've been exploring, casual relationships, or, you've been dating around. I think this is asking you to like take a step back from that because it may not be what you really need right now. With the Strength reverse, I think this is also telling you to like let your guard down and not feel like you have to be so tough and put on this tough facade all the time. I think you're dealing with a lot of really heavy and raw emotions and it's really hard to tame them. And I think this is asking you to kind of let go of that need to feel so in control over it, so like you have it all together, because what if you don't right now? Maybe you don't, and that's okay. It's okay to let go of that. And you don't have to be this tough person who has it all together and is handling everything perfectly. It's like whatever this is, it looks really heavy and really tough, and I want you to know that it is okay. It is tough, and that is okay. You're dealing with it, and it's really hard, and there's a lot of heavy emotions, and you feel like shit, and that's okay. You don't need to pretend to other people around you that you're good and you're fine and you got it all together if you really don't. This is asking you to like let your guard down and not feel like you have to pretend to be so strong for all these other people around you. If it's tough on you, you have to at least be able to admit to yourself that it's tough on you. You have to be real with yourself. You have to let down that facade sometimes that you don't have it all together, that you're not doing well. With the King of Pentacles, I think this might be asking you to look at the ways in which you still feel abundant. Look at the ways in which you still feel in control. A lot of this situation makes you feel like all you feel is loss, all you feel is loneliness, all you feel is emptiness, all you feel is not in control, overwhelmed. I think this is asking you to look at what makes you feel abundant and to go towards that as a place of healing. What makes you feel in control? What makes you feel successful? What What have you accomplished that makes you feel good? Maybe that this has something to do with like a financial hardship that you're going through. This is reminding you that you're still abundant in many other ways. You may have lost a source of income, but maybe you still have other sources of income, or maybe you still have a lot of savings saved up in other areas. There's other ways to get through this. There's other ways to do this and find that financial security or financial stability again, but not in just material terms. I think this is asking you to be a rock for yourself, be steady for yourself, find that stability within yourself, find that emotional stability that you need within yourself. Be that father figure for yourself if you're seeking that right now, or maybe go seek a father type figure to help you through this. The King of Pentacles is very paternal energy to me, like a strong, sensible, stable, very reliable male figure. Maybe this is asking you to seek that, if you have that kind of figure in your life, to seek advice and guidance and strength from them. But also, I think this is saying that you can find all of that within yourself. Even if you have been relying a little too hard on yourself and not reaching out to others, I think it's also kind of like you've been avoiding yourself altogether. This might be asking you to get in touch with yourself and to remember the things that make you still feel stable, that the things that still bring in that stability for you, the things that still make you feel abundant, because there is a lot of abundance around you. You may not see it in certain areas. You may feel lost in finances. You may feel a loss in someone that's not in your life anymore, but you can still find that stability and strength in other areas, that abundance in other areas of your life. All right, Aquarius, I'm going to pull one more card for you from the I Am Everything Oracle deck. Just one last message to finish off this reading for November 2020. One last message for Aquarius for November 2020. One last message for Aquarius, November 2020. I am aware. The number 24, if that means anything to you. I am aware. When I pay attention to my surroundings, I can feel appreciation for everything. I see so much beauty in the world. Being aware means living in the present and fully experiencing my life in the here and now. I am aware. Aquarius, if this isn't something personal to you, I know Aquarius is very good at connecting with humanity and the world. They feel very connected through larger connections with humanity at large. I don't know how to say this. They may be not the best at interpersonal relationships, but they're really good at connecting with groups of people and like larger scale. So I think this has a lot to do with like you realizing that maybe this year and all the things that have happened have really taken a hit on you. It's really hard on you because you're thinking about how much of a struggle this is and how much going on, and it's all a lot of hate and violence, and it's really getting to you, and it's hard, and you've been keeping it in. But I think this is asking you to look at, where is there still love around you? Where is there still abundance in the world? Where is there still hope in humanity? Where is there still goodness? Where is there still kindness? It's asking you to look at the things that are still abundant and good and of light, of love, not of negative things, not of darkness, not of hate. This is like you having this awareness. I think this is going to help you come out of this a little bit, is to look at things in a different light, to be aware of what's really good, to be aware of what you can still be appreciative of. Maybe you've been feeling a loss in some way, but you can still have appreciation and feel abundance in other areas, really, because it takes stepping into a place of awareness. And I think that also takes, in order for that to happen, it takes you stepping into a place of self-awareness, you stepping into a place of coming to terms with how you really feel about a situation so that you can understand it better and understand yourself better, understand your emotions better. Coming into that place of self-awareness will help you step into that place of awareness of, look at all the things I still do have. And I don't just mean materially. I mean, look at the abundance I still feel around me. I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. I still have these people that care about me. I still have this other source of income. It's looking at the things around you to have awareness of what still brings in beauty and love for you. And it makes you feel more rich in life, not materially, but rich, like you have what you need. You have what you need to survive. You have more than enough. And it makes you feel more present and alive and aware and present in the moment. And it makes you feel so much more grateful and appreciative. And it fills you with gratitude to be able to still see the good in things, even though all of these things have really rocked you and left you in a place of feeling empty or sad or angry or whatever. It's you finally coming to terms with those emotions, stepping into awareness about what is still good in the world, and really having great, deep gratitude and appreciation for what you still have and what you can still find beauty and love and joy in. Alright, Aquarius, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. This was a very intense reading. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, if any of this resonated at all, please leave comments down below. I'd really love to hear about it. Again, in my description box, you can find my email. If you'd like to reach out to me to schedule a personal reading, please feel free to do so. You can find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can find those Spotify links to those Spotify playlists, and you can find my PayPal. If you'd like to donate to this channel, it would mean the world to me. Thank you. Aquarius, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you really get in touch with how you feel and start to look at what is still here for you, what you still do have, the ways in which you still feel abundant and rich and full of life. I hope that you work through this. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your November, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you for watching.